The Westerplatte, Gdansk. It was here 86 years ago, in the early morning, that one of the darkest chapters in Polish history began with shots fired from the German battleship Schleswig-Holstein. It was also here that the first defenders of our homeland fell.
Was wzywam!
I call upon you, heroic soldiers of September 1939, who were the first to stand in the way of German aggression. Stand at attention. Glory to the heroes.
Niemieckiej agresji.
During the ceremony, the President presented state decorations to the archaeologists who found their remains on the battlefield.
Nasi bohaterowie.
Our heroes, whom we have officially commemorated here every year, were found only 80 years after the outbreak of World War II, thanks to the persistence and faith of the archaeologists whom I have just decorated.
Od wybuchu II wojny światowej.
The people who committed unimaginable crimes on our soil for nearly 6 years were not deprived of their nationality. President Karol Nawrocki reminded us of this.
To złe słowo.
It is a bad word. It is a bad word uttered by Germans towards other nations and towards the Polish nation that led to this war.
Wypowiadane w kierunku innych narodów I w kierunku narodu polskiego.
These words were a reference to the shameful statement made by Piotr Gzielak, Vice President of Gdansk, several years ago. In the beginning there were words, evil words from one against another, and there were also evil words from a Pole against another nation, from a German against another nation. Europe was divided by those evil words. Today the politician was booed by the people gathered at the Westerplatte. In reality, the entire German nation is responsible for the tragedy of the war, and Berlin has not yet come to terms with this responsibility.
Jak zabiłeś I ukradłeś.
If you have killed and stolen, you must confess your guilt, you must apologize, and you must make amends.
I musisz zadośćuczynić.
Donald Tusk did not mention compensation or the perpetrators of the devastating war. The words reparations or Germany did not pass through the Prime Minister's lips today. Instead, he spoke of the Nazis.
Słusznie wspominamy tu.
We rightly remember here the heroism of those few who were the first to face the Nazi onslaught.
Jako pierwsi czoła hitlerowskiej nawale.
It is astonishing that on such an important day for Poles, the Prime Minister did not decide to speak openly about the historical truth that is difficult for Germany and about Poland's interests. Donald Tusk has been pursuing a pro-German policy for years, which Poles oppose, and today they express this at the Westerplatte. The Westerplatte has become a symbol of the Polish army's heroic struggle against the aggressor. Wielon, on the other hand, is a symbol of German brutality against the civilian population. It was here, at dawn on September the 1st, that the first German bombs fell on the city, which was still asleep. President Karol Nawrocki met witnesses to those dramatic moments and laid a wreath at the monument commemorating the victims of the German attack.
Za tą statystyką są emocje.
Behind these statistics lie emotions, the degeneracy of German torturers inflamed by the words of Adolf Hitler. In Obersalzberg he shouted, "Be ruthless, be brutal. The destruction of Poland is your first task." Words were followed by deeds.
Polski jest waszym pierwszym zadaniem. Po słowach poszły czyny.
During the nearly 6-year occupation, the Germans murdered about 6 million Polish citizens. Millions more were sent to concentration camps or deported to the Third Reich for forced labour. Polish national property was looted and cities were turned into piles of rubble. The German occupation was followed by another, the Soviet, from which Poles liberated themselves almost half a century after the end of the war.